Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be testing out one of the most highly requested attachments that are available to you in Black Ops 6 Zombies, and that is under the fire mods. There is the FMJ, at least for most weapons anyway, and this attachment says that it increases your damage to score streaks and increases your penetration damage. And a lot of you out there are telling me that this does more damage against armored zombies and manglers, but does it really? Let's find out. Okay, so here we are in Liberty Falls. Now, I am using the brand new SMG, the Song. As you know, I just did a gun guide on this episode, which was the last episode posted on the channel. So since I got a really good base as to where this weapon is once you get it to Legendary and Triple Pack-a-Punch, that is what we are going to be rolling with here. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the build on screen. It's basically the same build that we were using in the previous video, except this time we have the FMJ attachment on it instead of the rapid fire attachment. Now, of course, before we can test out whether or not FMJ really makes a difference here, we're gonna have to get this thing Legendary and Triple Pack. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. But also, it is almost Christmas time and I need to pay off my Kmart layaways. So let's have a quick word from this video's paid sponsor. Messy Modding is a safe and legitimate gaming service company that supplies services to not just Call of Duty, but for over a dozen other games. If you're looking for help with the Dark Matter or Nebula grind, bot lobbies, and more, go to check out Messy Modding using the link in the description down below and let them do all of the hard work for you. Use my code COOL to save 5%. Back to the video. Okay, I'm only about 1,000 salvage away now of being able to go ahead and go Legendary, and I'm already Triple Pack-a-Punch. Now, I have the awesome advantage of having just made a gun guide using the SOG SMG. Now, after doing all of that testing, we found that we were able to do a maximum of 436 damage to the armored zombies, and at least most of the mangler shots anyway. I will be throwing Deadshot on here before we do the testing, because the testing that we're going to be comparing with also had the Deadshot perk equipped on it as well. Now, I do want to say before we get too deep into this is that I very much have my doubts as to whether or not this is going to have any effect whatsoever here in Zombies. This attachment is primarily made for multiplayer and to allow you to do more damage to score streaks and allow you to keep more of your damage when you are shooting through objects such as walls or things like that. When you're doing penetration damage, allow you to have more damage to what you're shooting when you're shooting through something, if that makes any sense. Now, that might apply here in Zombies a little bit. We're going to try to do some testing on that. As you're shooting through a horde of zombies, are you doing a little bit more damage to the zombies that you're penetrating through? That could be something that this attachment might be able to do, but I do have my doubts as to whether or not this is actually going to do any additional damage to the armored zombies. But let's go ahead, let's get this thing Legendary and let's find out. Okay, we are all set up right now. It's round 21. Aside from Deadshot, I have not purchased that yet. I'll get that a little bit later on in the game here, but I got this clip ready here. We got a full health armored zombie here. Have not put any damage into him whatsoever. Now we have the FMJ. We know that we were doing 436 damage to a piece of armor without having FMJ while using rapid fire. So I'm going to play this clip in slow motion here for you, and let's see how much damage we do against this armored zombie. Okay, so that expels the myth right there. FMJ is not dealing increased damage to armored zombies, and likely not to manglers either. We're going to do a little bit more testing here on this, but it is definitely not doing more damage to the armored zombies. Will it take less hits to get rid of the armor on a zombie? We're going to find that out here shortly. But yet it's not doing more damage, it's doing the exact same 436 damage to an armored zombie, as you just seen it again right there, the exact same amount of damage. Okay, so I've been scrubbing through a lot of footage. This is the SOG SMG without FMJ on round 28. And I'm gonna say this is not super scientific, because even going frame by frame, it's very difficult to tell exactly how many bullets you're landing on these zombies, but it is about 4 shots to the armor on the helmet and 5 shots to the armor on the body in order to break the armor at round 28 without using FMJ. And then on round 28 with FMJ, as we slow this down, you can see it takes 4 shots to break the helmet armor on this armored zombie. So doing comparison with using FMJ, without using FMJ, we're dealing the exact same amount of damage. It's taken exactly the same amount of shots in order to break armor on these armored zombies at the same rounds, with the same rarity, the same weapon, all of those things. So I'm going to just go ahead and say right now that there is absolutely 100% no difference between using FMJ and not using FMJ. FMJ is not dealing more damage against armored zombies. Now, one thing it could be doing more damage to the zombies behind the other zombies that you're shooting. So getting more damage to the hordes behind it as you're shooting through it, and getting more penetration damage on other zombies. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a look at that and see if we can find some comparable clips between using FMJ and not using FMJ, and see if we can spot any kind of difference at all when you're shooting through hordes of zombies. Okay, so I'm gonna play 2 clips for you. One is round 29 without using FMJ, and the other one's gonna be on round 30 with using FMJ. I couldn't do them on the same round because my round 29 with FMJ was a vermin round, and my round 30 without FMJ, I put cryo freeze on my weapon, so that just kind of threw off the testing a little bit. There's gonna be a little bit of a difference in zombie health, but the difference is relatively negligible at this stage with the damage that you're dealing with the weapons. So I don't think that that's going to affect what I'm trying to show you here anyway. So we're going to just roll with that for now. Okay, could you tell any difference there? Honestly, neither could I. And it's very difficult to try to test whether what kind of bullet penetration damage and whatnot you're getting. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to hop over into just round 1. We're going to try out with some FMJ, try without FMJ, and see if we're doing any extra bullet penetration damage to the other zombies when they're moving a little bit slower and a little bit easier to track. Okay, starting off with FMJ, and I put it in single fire mode here, so I'm not firing multiple bullets here. And let's just get them lined up, take our first shot. Look, we got a 21 and a 3, so we got a little bit of penetration damage there. 2 12s right there, so even more penetration damage, so that is awesome. Looks like we're hitting maybe 1 extra zombie depending on where. Okay, we no penetration damage there, no penetration damage there. If we can get a couple of them lined up, and we got a 19 and a 14, so we're getting some penetration damage. It seems to be okay, definitely not getting any there, so the penetration is not going very far. We got a 9 and a 5 right there. That zombie got a whole lot closer. A 5 and a 14. So yeah, you're getting a little bit of bullet penetration damage, but that zombie has got to be awful close to you in order to get it. Now, this very well may increase as you get into the pack-a-punch levels. You might get a little bit more bullet penetration damage by default. But yeah, you can see the zombies got to be pretty close, and we're not getting a ton, but we are getting a little bit, and that is with FMJ. Let's go ahead and turn FMJ off, and let's see what we get without FMJ. Okay, now back in again, still in single fire mode. We got a 6, a 4, another 6, a 4. We got a 7, we got a 12 and a 4. We got the zombies are relatively close here. And let's see if we can get them lined up again. Oh, I couldn't even see the damage numbers there. Okay, just a 21 there, a 4 and 11. I mean, we're getting some really kind of low values. A 21. 2 14s there, very nice. And what do we got for this one? Little headshot. We got a 16. We got no bullet penetration with that one, and that zombie was pretty close. Another 21, and I think we just shot through the first zombie and killed that second zombie. Okay, now I'm playing back the without FMJ again here because I think it's not popping up the damage values of the initial shot. You're dealing to 21 damage to the chest, and then those other smaller values that you're seeing, I think those are the penetration damages on the zombies behind it. You can see some of the 21s are popping up, but some of them are not. So there's 11, 4s, 5s, 2, and then all those small numbers there, those are the penetration damages that are coming through there. So when you go back and you compare them with the one with FMJ, when we were getting a little bit more consistency with the 21s popping up, which is what is back on your screen now. Now this is back with the FMJ on again, and we'll just kind of look a second time here and see if we're really seeing the differences. So you got some 3s in there because of the 21s were popping up a lot more here. So you had 2 12s there. Those were penetration damages. And let's go ahead. We got another 5 and a 12. So you're seeing the penetration damages pop up a lot more than the actual value of the shot that you're shooting there. So overall, are you getting more penetration damage there? Maybe. I think the answer is very much maybe. The values here seem to be a little bit higher than the values that you were getting without using FMJ. So hopping back to some footage on round 31 using FMJ, you can kind of see how everything is looking and feeling at this stage of the game, as we know this is one of the most hardest rounds here in the game. So what we have found from the testing here, that I would say 100% certainty that there is no additional damage to armored zombies or to manglers using the FMJ attachment. The damage value is the damage value, and you're not getting extra damage to any of these armored zombies or manglers by using FMJ. What you might be getting, however, and it does appear as if you do a little bit more penetration, and the damage that is done by penetration is slightly increased over the damage that is done if you did not have the FMJ attachment on. So you're going to get slightly more penetration on zombies and deal slightly more damage. Now, is this worth using over rapid fire, which is going to fire more bullets overall into the hordes that you're shooting? I mean, I guess that's up to you. The testing for that is rather difficult. As you get in these high rounds, it's really kind of hard to say and see. There's so many zombies, everything's moving so fast. But we could see it in round one that there was a little bit of a difference. Now, how much of a difference that is, I mean, it's up to you. I guess it's a feel thing. Even if you get the placebo effect there of feeling like you're that much stronger against the zombies, then hey, maybe it is worth it for you. But to answer the question that we set out to answer, it is absolutely no. There is no additional damage dealt to the zombies or the manglers that are armored in Black Ops 6 by using FMJ. And if you enjoyed, please make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel to continue to grow, and it's 100% completely free. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Cole Whip, and I'm out.